And today we're going to talk about chapters 1 to 5 in The Last Cuentista by Donna Barbara Higuera. Hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, then please notify me in the comments below. This book is a 2021 Newbery Medal winner. So when I heard about this book, I was just really excited because I was like, a new Newbery Medal! And so I just read the whole thing like in 3 days. And I was like, oh my god, this is the best book in the world. Yeah, I have to say some parts were just a little scary. And if you have read all the way to chapter 5, okay? And if you don't, then you're gonna just have to read the book. Read at least to chapter 5, even though at times you should just read the whole book. It's okay. And so, if you've read that far, we know that the Earth is just gonna get blown up by an asteroid. Pretty creepy. And that was a little scary part to me. I was like, Earth getting blown up by an asteroid? Not my idea of, like a good time. Yes, of course, because I'm right now on Earth, and I would not like that to be to explode. Yes, and so, yeah, a few things I thought it was a little creepy, but in the end, I was like, out of 10, I would give it an 11. It was so good. Now, so let's just dive right in. I love this book, and so I wanted to share my love with this awesome book, The Last Cuentista. Okay, chapter 1. Now, do you know, so, I wanted to talk about the scene, okay? The scene where the book starts. It says, Lita tosses another Pinoan log onto the fire. Sweet smoke drifts past us into the starry sky. Her knees cracks as she sits back down on the blanket next to me. The cup of hot chocolate with cinnamon she's made me sits untouched this time. So here we can just see that's just a calm moment, right? But here, look. The cup of hot chocolate with cinnamon she's made me sits untouched this time. So other times the main character has drunken hot chocolate with cinnamon. Like, she's like, awesome, right? But this time she isn't. Now, just from the first paragraph, and the reason that she just hasn't eaten hot chocolate, how did you sort of like infer how the main character, which we soon learn is Petra, I hope I'm saying that right. Now, I think that as the main character, Petra, she's feeling a little unsure or sort of some negative feelings, right? So that she isn't touching anything, right? And she's just sort of maybe sad or mad, right? Well, yeah. Now, and then so after this, I wanted to talk about the next paragraph, and it says, I have something I want to take with you on your trip, Petra. Lita reaches into her sweater pocket. Since I won't be there for your 13th birthday. And there is more, but that. So, number 1, trip, keyword, and also, she isn't going to be there to the 13th birthday. Okay, listen. First of all, where do you think that the main character, Petra, is going on this trip? Now, you might be like, Jaden, she might be going to the Grand Canyon or Grand Teton National Park, or I don't know, maybe she's going to Hawaii or I don't know, New York City, in South Korea, or maybe she's going to Beijing, or who knows? Maybe she's going to France and Paris, or maybe Antarctica, or go to Queensland, Australia, or she might end up in the Philippine Islands. Yeah, so there is a lot. So I know that this is gonna make your head spin a little, and you're gonna be like, okay, Jen, this doesn't help a lot. But just, okay, I get it. I feel you. But still, just guess, okay? But at least we know that she's going on some trip, okay? And also, it says that Lita won't be there. Lita, right? Oh yeah. Yeah, Lita. I was seeing if I pronounced it right. I keep on forgetting a lot of characters' names since I am working on 3 other books at the moment. Okay, but anyway, Lita here, okay? So, do you think that Lita, she isn't here? Yeah, she is old, right? It says that her knees crack as she sits back down on the blanket next to me, right? Old, bones cracking, creaking, right? And so, it says, but still, she isn't gonna be there. Do you think it's because she's old and she's gonna die? Or do you think it's just that she's not gonna be able to go on the trip? Or do you think that's just for some other reason? Well, I just wanted to ask you this question so that we could just get a feeling of what is happening here. What is happening here, really? And we can just sort of begin to guess already, okay? Just these clue words are really important. You might have not noticed them at first, and honestly, I didn't either, but as I was going through the book again, I was like, oh, these words, they're important. And then Lita, right? Lita gives Petra, okay? Actually, let me just read the description. I'm pretty sure that the author, Donna Barbara Higuera, I hope I'm saying that right again, describes it better than I do because she is the maker of this book, right? And so, yeah, it says, she holds out a silver pendant in the shape of a sun. Its center is filled with a flat black stone. If you hold it up to the sun, its light glows through the obsidian. Now, what do you think about that birthday present, okay? What's maybe a few words that you would describe it? Just 2, okay? Just do 2, 3 if you want to, okay? And would you like to have that as your birthday present? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you like it? And finally, does this remind you of any other book? Well, that's a lot of questions, and I'm gonna answer all of them. You might be like, at times I might forget one question because I do ask so many questions. But I'm pretty sure my first question was, what do you think about that, okay? I like it. A few words to describe it too, okay? I think it's beautiful and awesome and cool, okay? No, not cool, that's too no. Beautiful and precious, it looks special. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say that it would be 10. It looks so cool and beautiful and amazing. And what does this remind me of? Maybe you even read this book. It's really famous. It's called The Hobbit. Now, you might be like, oh, The Hobbit! Okay, and I'm actually in the middle of reading it. Actually, no, not in the middle, really. I'm only about 10 pages from the end. And I am thinking about doing a book club. It's just so amazing. And I'm like, I have to do one. So I am planning on doing it. Might not come out yet. I'm thinking about it, and I still have lots of books like this book to do. So it's gonna come out in maybe a few months. And yeah, but really, just enjoy the other book clubs while you're waiting. And I'm gonna have to put that on my list of books I'm gonna do. Now, back to the book. We have been talking a lot about other stuff. And do you think that, now I have another thing. So Lita after that says this, Yucatecos, hope I'm saying that right, believe obsidian holds magic, a doorway to bring lost ones together. And so, do you think that the obsidian really actually has magic and it actually is gonna hold the lost ones? Do you think they're gonna bring them together? And the lost ones, who might be those lost ones, or just those people that the Obsidian are gonna take together? Maybe one is Petra, maybe one's Lita. I'm just guessing, okay? Because, yeah, I'm just guessing too. Who knows, right? It doesn't really give us an answer either, but even though I sort of do guess what it is. In the end, you sort of know, though. Okay. Now, after that, Petra says something, in my opinion, really important. There's, like, the author here, Donna Barbara Higuera, she's, like, peppering clues all over the pages. You might not notice them, but she's, like, so many clues. It says this: they shouldn't force me to go, okay? Before, she was talking about this trip. Now, it just says they shouldn't force me to go. So, it turns out that Petra is getting forced to go on a trip. So this must not be like a family vacation, right? It must not be like a good old-fashioned, like just a good fun hiking trip to the Grand Canyon, or a good snorkeling trip to the Hawaii, right? That's just making me want to go to Hawaii. It's been such a long time, in my opinion, since I've set foot on one of those islands now. Why am I talking about this? I do not know, but back to the book. Yeah, so why do you think that these people are forcing Petra to go? Only thing I could think of was either because she had to do something, or it was for safety. That was all I thought about. I didn't really know back then. And then we know. Hint: asteroid crashing into Earth. But we all know that, so it's not really a hint, right? Now, so, and after that, Lita says another important thing, and it says, you have to go, Petra. Children are not meant to be separated from their parents. Okay, so something about that, right? So if Petra doesn't go, but the parents are gonna go, which means that they're gonna be separated. Just a quick thing, okay? Now, and then here's the really important part that I'm like, oh, this is the big thing. And it says this. It says, she laughs a deep, soft chuckle. I'm too old to travel so far, but for you, Dios mío. Hope I did it right. Okay. A new planet. How exciting. Now we really get it, right? Petra is getting forced to go onto a new planet, right? And so it's supposed to be really far away, and Lita isn't going, so that's why she isn't gonna be there, right? Lots of information here, okay? Now, do you think that you would like to go to a new planet? Now, I like planet Earth. I love planet Earth. I just really love those rainforests and jungles. I have like a million places bookmarked that I want to go. And I don't want to go to Mars. I mean, yeah, Mars would be a little cool for a while, but I think that I would rather go to Yellowstone or Yosemite or some other national park than go to a planet. But it would be cool for a little while, but still, I don't think I would really like it. But how would you like to go on a new planet? Would you be forced? Would you be forced, or would you be like, oh man, I want to go there? How would you be like? Just a quick question. Now anyway, so, but the fact that they're going to a new planet, what does this say about the setting of the book? Like, when do you think this is taking place? Past, present, or future? Probably future. Right now, in 2022, we do not have technology to go to Mars or any other planet, okay? So, we have sent rovers and stuff onto Mars, right? We've had like a million satellites out there, stuff like that, right? Million satellites, and like there's like Voyager 2 and 1, those like, and we have telescopes and like the Hubble telescope, and like Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, they travel all around the galaxy and stuff, right? I don't even know if Voyager 1 or 2 is still there. I don't know. I'm not a space guy. But the thing is, yeah, we have all those things. We've landed man on the moon. We've orbited the Earth. But we don't have the technology to go to Mars yet. Now, hopefully, I mean, I don't like to go to another planet, but I'm pretty sure, but I still would be really proud of mankind if we actually manage that. I wouldn't be going, but I would be like, people, you're amazing. So I hope that by the time you watch the video, at least like a spaceship will have landed. Now, I know that's pretty impossible, but just in 30 years, who knows what's going to happen. So, but here we can really find out that this is in the future, right? But I have a question. How much in the future? I'm going to be surprised if it's in this century, really, to be true. Okay. Now, did you actually even know what a cuento was? I didn't actually know, but what about you? I didn't know, I don't really know. What do you think? But think about the title. It's like the last Cuentista. Same as cuento, right? Quent, right? Isn't like cuento. Not only the O is missing, but you can see that, right? So if cuento, so when it says this, you need a cuento, she says, referring to one of her tall tales, right? So a cuentista, what do you expect that is? Probably a tale, a story, right? I mean, maybe tall tales, but just generally a story or a tale, right? And then, and I thought that actually, the story was pretty interesting. I mean, the cuento was really interesting, so let me read it. Now, at first she starts out in Spanish, and of course, because I totally failed Spanish, I'm trying to learn it, but I don't even know how to, but I only know how to say, hola, okay? And jaqueta, which means jacket, and nothing else. So I'm not very proud of myself here. So yeah, I'm not really good at anything. So I'm not gonna pronounce well. So for people who know Spanish, you're gonna roll your eyes at times when I'm really bad. Okay. Había una vez, she begins her story, a young fire snake Nagual. His mother was Earth, his father the sun. On a wild snake, I ask, but how can the sun and Earth be parents of something part human, part animal? Shh, this is my story. She clears her throat and takes one of my hands in hers. Fire Snake was angry. Her mother Earth fed and nurtured him, but his father, the sun, stayed away. His father would bring crops, but he also brought great drought and death. One very hot day, as sun loomed over the Nagual, Lita waved her arms toward the heavens. He challenged his father. Even though his mother begged him to stay with her forever, the young fire snake sped off toward his father. Lita remained silent for a moment. I know the stall is part of her strategy to keep me in suspense. It works. Then what? She smiles and continues. With his tail flaming behind him, Fire Snake gained speed until he could not slow himself. But as he approached his father's son, he realized his mistake. His father's flames were far more powerful and stronger than anything else in this universe. The Nagual looped around his father, speeding back toward his home, but it was all too late. His father's fire had burned his eyes, so he could no longer see. Lita clicks her tongue. Probecto, blinded and moving so fast he could never slow down, never able to find his mother. She sighs. Now comes the part in all her stories where her voice becomes lighter, like she's casually giving directions to the corner Pandaria. So every 75 years, he retraces the journey, hoping to reunite with her. She points again at the fire stick, close enough to sense his mother, but never to embrace. Except this time, I say, heat running up my back. Yes, she answers, pulling me closer. In a few days, the fire stick will finally find its mother. Yicurin, Colorado. Este cuento se ha acabado, she says, finishing her cuento. Now, so I have read that part, okay, and so it says, so this must be sort of a real one. Yeah, I don't believe in the fire snake, but So now the fire snake is gonna meet his mom. Hooray! Well, what does this mean? An asteroid crashing into Earth. Yes, maybe an embrace, but really, what does this mean for the people who's living on Earth? Like, what did you think? Or did you, or what did you just think that it was fake and you didn't even notice it? Well, for the people who noticed it, well, I noticed it this time. I some clues I did miss, but this one I noticed, and I was like, oh, right, new planet, because the fire snake or the asteroid crashes into the Earth, and of course then the Earth is unlivable, and so the people have to go on to the new planet. Okay, this other planet. And I have a question. This quick question: how did you like that book? How did you like that story anyway? That cuento. Scale 1 to 10. Just curious. But back to what I was saying. But it says that Lita isn't gonna go with them, right? So she's gonna be left behind. Now, do you think that she should be left behind, or do you think that everybody or do you think that she should come? Like, do you think that everybody should come? Definitely, right? Everybody should come. But from how she's talking, do you think that it's like her choice in a way or not? I don't know if it's her choice or not, but I think that maybe she can't go. I have no idea. Let's keep on going. Now, do you think, what do you want to be? Because Petra wants to be a storyteller. Now, what do you want to be? I think that I want to be a writer, and I have written 50 pages in my latest book, okay? So, now, do you think that in the end here, why do you think that, why do you think that the author included this chapter? I mean, she didn't just randomly think, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna start my book. Aha! Let's just put some random night for the first chapter so I can have some space to fill. Definitely not that, right? She didn't do that. So why? What do you think that she was like thinking when she did this? Like, what do you think? Well, I think that she actually, when she was sort of already giving us clues, right? And she was already sort of telling us. She was introducing us to Cuentos. She was introducing to the characters and sort of like, it's sort of the beginning of the story, right? She's giving us clues of what's gonna happen to characters, sort of everything, right? All in one chapter, just for one night. And I thought that was just a really important chapter. That's why I spend a lot of time on that one. Even though I'm gonna actually spend a lot of time on every chapter, if I can. Now, chapter 2. Let's start. And now, so, we find out that they're going to go to the launch site, right? Now, if you had been Petra and also her younger brother, Javier, or anybody just going on that ship, okay? How would you feel? And I want you to use, and also, how do you think that Petra or Javier or anybody else, just how would they feel? And I want you to use a simile, okay? And I'm pretty sure that you know how to do this, but for people who are new to my YouTube channel, here's how you do it. So, first, you just think about what the character's feeling. So here, well, I'm not gonna say this one because I'll sort of like spoil it, and then my example will just stick to your mind. So I'm just gonna do if you're gonna have to throw away your favorite book. I don't know why you have to do that, but if you did, okay, I'm just gonna do that. I would feel really sad and sort of angry too that I had to do that, right? So it would be like this. I felt as if I was throwing I was throwing away a piece of my soul. Which, in a way, sort of is, right? That book you loved so much, right? It's sort of a piece of your soul now. So you're sort of throwing that away. So that's mine. That was actually a good one even for me, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm not that experienced. But anyway, what about you? How do you think that you would feel here? I'm not going to say anything. This is all your show. I'm just the director and everything. Okay. So, do you think that you would like to be on those ships? Because like, it's supposed to be really cool, right? It says, Pleiades, I'm not saying that right, Corp designed these luxury vessels to take rich people across the galaxy in comfort. I've seen their mega screen advertisements along hoverways showing a ship's 5-star hotel interior, chandeliers with Pleiades Corp's signature color, royal purple, illuminating the faces of actors in fancy clothes, holding martini glasses and smiling as they stared out at a fake nebula. A man with a voice like his gargled avocado oil each morning, speaking over tinkling piano music. Pleiades Corporation, reimagining what you thought interstellar travel would be. Luxury living among the stars, reserved for the adventurous elite. Sounds pretty cool, right? Would you like to be on those? Too cramped, too crowded. It's like, I would rather like to drive and hike on Earth. Besides, I think that it would be scary to be out in space. Who knows what's gonna happen? Shiver. Yeah, I think that it would be too scary to me. I'm not that brave, and I don't think that I could manage to do that. Even though it sounds just a little cool, right? But would you like to go on that for escaping Earth? Would you like to go on that? But yeah, it sounds pretty good, right? If you're in desperate, I think that you could go. And so we learned that not everybody is gonna go. Now, what in the world did you think about this? Like, only a few people, just those 3 ships are leaving. The rest of the people, and they're staying behind. And there's no way that you can fit billions of people into 3 ships, right? Maximum, like, capacity of all of them together, about, I don't know. But it's gonna be less than 1 million. Like, way less than 1 million people. I mean, isn't that terrible? What do you think here? It's gonna be way less than 1 million. And, like, there's gonna be, like, 6 billion. Even more than 6 billion people left. What in the world are they gonna do, right? Do you think that this is a good thing? Like, how would you feel about this? And if you have been one of those people left behind, how would you have felt? Like, I don't know. I know that you don't really want to imagine this, but how would you feel? How desperate would you feel? Like, how would you feel here? I'm gonna do a simile. It says, I would have felt as if someone was about to drop me out of a window. You will feel terrified, desperate. You'll be like, no, right? This is how they're feeling, right? Like, they're on like the tipping point. Like, if it drops, Earth explodes, and they die. Pretty miserable. And yeah, I don't really want to think about what would happen here. Luckily, that's probably not going to happen, even though some asteroids did drop into Iceland just a few days ago on the news. But they were small ones, and besides, most of them burned up in the atmosphere before they came down. So yeah, this quick thing I wanted to say. And now wait, sorry, the page wasn't flipping well. Do you think that you would be brave enough to go on those ships? So I mean, like, you're gonna travel all across the galaxy on these ships. Do you think that you would be able to do that, or do you think that you would be like, I'm not going? I don't know, but I don't think I really have a choice though, unless I want to die, right? Now, wait. So I just have a question too, and we learned that so they're gonna go on this sort of sleep, this nap, right? But the thing is, let's see, they're gonna be asleep for 380 years. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, pretty exciting, right? But before that, I just wanted to say one thing. It seems that Petra's eyes, she sort of is fat, right? And that's not supposed to happen. There's like only the fittest, most healthiest people are supposed to go. I don't know if my family would be part of that. Think about it. Do you think that your family will be able to make the cut? And now, luckily, no asteroid, no fire snake is gonna crash into the Earth. So if you think that your family can't make it, then perfectly fine. I know some people have bad eyesight, maybe. I'm pretty sure that people like who are in wheelchairs or anything can't go, right? And maybe any disabilities, Sally, they can't go. I think that's unfair, but we can't really prevent that, right? In a way, so. Yeah, I just wanted to point out that real quick, and if you want, you can say how your family would be like. Talking about that, I just wanted to now talk about Petra isn't taking this well. She doesn't want to go. Yeah, she might die, but she wants to be with Lita. How would you feel? Would you also feel the same way, or would you be like, oh, thank God, I'm not Lita. La la la, I'm getting off the stupid planet and I'm going to Sagan. How would you feel? I would feel terrible. I'd be like, no, Yosemite, and my home. No, San Diego, my home. But I still I wouldn't want to be left behind, but at the same time, that quick death might be easier for me because at least I won't feel the homesickness. But in the end, I still think that I would just go on to Sagan, even though I doubt it's gonna be even close as good to Earth. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be no Yosemite there. So. I'm getting a little too dramatic here. I'm pretty good at being dramatic. So, do you think that it's even possible to sleep 380 years? What do you think? And do you think that the ship is gonna last okay, or do you think that there's suddenly gonna be like this big malfunction? Suddenly, the person who's operating the ship, like the captain, is gonna be like, sorry, dudes. This ship is breaking down. We're gonna, this thing isn't gonna work. Hyperspace isn't working. The hyperdrive's empty. If you watch Star Wars, then you know what I mean. But anyway, okay, sorry guys. Glass is breaking up there. You're gonna get sucked out into space. Real sorry, okay, guys? And then the ship falls apart. You can imagine that, right? Bang! Imagine just like a miniature Earth exploding, like a miniature fire snake crashing into miniature Earth, and you'll probably get what would have happened. Maybe it would have been less fiery though, but still, pretty much the same. Actually, there'll be all the fuel and the gasoline, so I don't know. I'm not really good at those kinds of things. If you want, you can ask somebody who's an expert at spaceships. Maybe they'll answer it. But then again, this spaceship probably is a different one than the ones that we're using right now. So that's pretty hard. Now, I have just a quick question before we're gonna go on to chapter 3. And my question before we go on to chapter 3 is, do you think that after reading these parts of the book, do you feel that the technology that we have today is just too small, this is too just on technology compared to this? And would you like to have more technology here? And are you like, oh God, I want more technology? This right where I'm living right now, there's just no technology. I want technology like this book. Or are you like, oh, I'm content with the technology here. It's already good. I'm content right now. Why? Here are my reasons. Number 1, science. We're right now exceeding in that. Even in the 19th century, booming, right? Science was we were smart. And also another thing is technology. I'm transportation. We have bullet trains now, right? airplanes, jets, F-16s. We have lots of technology already. We have like phones. We have computers. We have iPads. We have headphones. We have like lots of many other technologies, right? We have online calculators. We have lights, and that's just a miracle. Thomas Edison, that was just a miracle. This whole thing is like modernized. And besides, if you're thinking about space, well, just one thing about computers and everything, they're cool, they're fast, and they're awesome. Anyway, to space, well, look, we've already sent satellites out, we've gone to the moon, we have ISS, the International Space Station. Yes, that's gonna go down soon enough, yes, in 2030, but for the time, but it's still up there for right now, even though it might, it's gonna go down soon. And also, we've sent like rovers and stuff like that to Mars, and we are getting and some people are making our first 3D printed rocket. I know that's cool. SpaceX is right now working hard. NASA is working hard. The European Space Agency is working hard. Everywhere, astronauts and everybody else, they're launching into space. They're researching more and more and more. I mean, like just yesterday, huge breakthroughs. The day before yesterday, huge breakthroughs. Study. We just get so much. So I'm content. We've already done enough space technology. I'm like, 3D printed rockets? Awesome. That's so cool, right? I think that we should just be content, but it's all different. What do you think? Because this video is made for you, okay? What you think really counts here. Okay. Now, chapter 3. So do you think that you would have the courage to sleep for 380 years? Or would you be worried that something is gonna go wrong? Or do you think that you would just be worried in general? Or do you think that you'll be too terrified and you'll just faint? How do you think you'll feel? I would feel very terrified. I'd be like, this, and don't tease me, because it is a terrifying experience, right? I mean, would you like to go on a 380 year nap without your control? No, please. Okay. Now, finally, I wanted to talk about what they were. Wait, sorry. I was just and then mom and dad, right? Petra's mom and dad were talking about this about this, right? This new government, and it says this. A man. So this is the news, okay? So actually, let me just read. Let's see. Okay, what about this? Okay. So this is chapter 3 for your information, page 16. I slid out from behind Javier and onto the floor. The hall was dim, so I decided it was safer to crawl to the living room to eavesdrop. I felt my way there so I didn't bump into something and crept to the backside of the sectional. Remember, this is the past, it's remembering here. It's sort of morbid, Mom said. 146 people is exactly the number of monitors on each ship. Is all it takes for humans to continue with enough genetic diversity in case the rest of us die. They were always posing some scientific hypothetical with each other for fun. I thought this must have been just one of those nerd date night conversations. Mom continued, it feels like the monitors are just making such a sacrifice for the rest of us. They were chosen for this mission for a reason, just like us, Dad said. But we have to travel the entire way. They're still passengers, Dad said, and we don't know exactly what awaits us. Who's to say if their lives will get any better or worse than ours? It was starting to sound like it wasn't a hypothetical conversation. The 10 o'clock chime rang out from the kitchen from the clock in the kitchen. Screen on, Dad said, turning on the 10 o'clock news program specifically for them. I peeked out through the upper part of the couch cushion. Now it gets interesting, okay? Let me read more. Tonight, we join the Global Peace Forum, where an international movement is growing. The newscaster raised her eyebrows, but not a single wrinkle lined her forehead. This interesting new movement has received both praise and even greater criticism. A man with his hair cut sharply at his temples and a pointed nose spoke. His soft voice didn't match his sharp features. This century has seen many trials. Soon there will be more. Imagine a world where humans could reach a consensus. With collective unity, we could avoid conflict. With no conflict, no war. Without the cost of wars, no starvation. Without differences in culture, in appearance, knowledge. It sounds a little good, but what do you think about it? Like, for real. I hate it! Now you might be like, what, Shannon? It's good. But think about it. Just first of all, just think about it. Now I'm going to talk, okay? Please already have said your answer because I don't want to spoil anything to you. But it says that we need to be unit. You have to have unity. Yeah, that's good, but we're not robots, right? And it says and so it says without differences in culture, appearance, knowledge. So we're all the same, right? Like our culture is the same. Boring. Appearance the same. How bad would that be? Knowledge is the same, so nobody's smart, nobody's dumb. Yeah, maybe that's good for, but still it's bad, right? Like, I won't just, schools, I want to learn more, but I can't because all our knowledge has to be the same. Isn't that terrible? Like, and it's just no differences. How boring is that going to be? Can you imagine how terrible it is? What does this remind you of? This reminds me of, those, in Star Wars, there's all these clones and, like the stormtroopers. That reminds me of that. Like the stormtroopers are all the same. They're like, they're just all the same in armor, right? And they're just marching along. It's just all the same. Too much white and black, right? Basically the same here. So I don't like it. But what about you? Yeah. I don't like it. I don't know about you, but just really curious, okay? Now, I was just really I was just really curious about that, okay? And why do you think that the author Donna Barbara Higuera also added that part? Why do you think that was so important? That about that peace collective and stuff, right? Like what was that name again? The Global Peace Forum. What do you think? Why didn't that was in? Why do you think that this is gonna be some part of another? Do you think that this is gonna be featured in the book? And if so, how? Why? Because they're going on the spaceship. Do you think that the people in the Global Peace Forum are coming? We're gonna have to see about that. Dun 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 dun! Drum roll, please. Ow, my hands. But that was a pretty epic drum roll. And yeah, I just wanted to say we are getting into pretty epic stuff, okay? Now, chapter 4. So, here, let's see. Let's start out, here, so the first few sentences, it says, apparently the guy who invented incognito, aka downloadable cognizance, bought its way onto the third ship by giving access to every passenger leaving. Sorry. I got just an interruption in my throat. Okay, bought its way onto the third ship by giving access to every passenger leaving Earth. So while we're unconscious on the journey, I'll be getting the botany and geology lessons my parents chose for me. But since I'm nearly 13, I also get to choose a elective too. My incognito elective alone is probably worth more than our house and Lee test combined. Hundreds of years and lifetimes of folklore and mythology lessons will be deep in my mind by the time we arrive in Sagan. I can't even imagine all the stories I'll know. So it's like you're asleep and you get to learn. How cool is that? Now, would you like to be that? It would be the best in the world. I mean, seriously, you could just be like, and you can listen to all those stories, right? And it would be so cool if like we had incognito stuff for at school. We could do it at night. We could be like, right? And then in the daytime, we would have all free time, right? That's when we could do other stuff. I think that's a genius idea. I hope somebody invents that, but I think that's gonna be a pretty long time. First of all, we have to fully understand the brain, which we're still doing. After that, we have to somehow get, messages to the brain, and then, brain, like computer chips and stuff like that. It's really complicated right now, so don't hope for it anytime soon. Just saying, I mean, yeah, maybe it's gonna happen, but don't hope for it. Like, don't be like, I know that it's gonna come tomorrow. I'm gonna use that incognito. Oh yeah, one thing before I wanted to come on, like this is the cover of but this is only like this, okay? And actually beneath that is this, the fire snake. I just wanted to share this because I'm not kidding, but I just peeled this off because it was hard to peel. It was hard to turn the pages, and it kept on interrupting the section right here. Even if you didn't notice, I tried to cover it up the best I can. And so I just removed this, and this is what I came up with. I was so surprised. I didn't even know, the fire snake. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, just wanted to point that out. I didn't know that. What do you like? Do you like that, or would you just like learn old-fashioned, just old-fashioned teacher style? You wouldn't be bored either. You would just be unconscious, and I think that, yeah, I just love that idea. Now, so one thing I wanted to talk about is that do you think that the whole thing here, right? Do you think that this sounds it looks scary, or do you think that this looks exciting? I think that this looks exciting. It's like, oh, so cool. I would love to I would love to be here. Yeah, really, I would love to do that. And then, so what did you think about the ship? Like, if you had to just say on a scale to 1 to 10, what would it be? 11. That is so cool. Yeah, I would like to be on Earth, but wow, that is cool, right? I just think it's really cool. If you have been the designer of the ship, would you have done the same, or would you have added a few other things? Well, let's think. I think that one other thing that I would have included here is, you can hear the rain outside, right? There's one thing I wanted to point out. Oh, here's one thing that I would have wanted to include, and that is that I would have done the same, but here is my plan. Number 1, okay? So floor number 1, okay? Here's what they would be. It would be, that's the entrance hall, and then there would be like this big lounge with chairs, and it would be sort of like the dining room too, okay? And then also on room 1, on floor 1, there will be there will be like a big TV screen for people, and then there would also be the arcade, okay? And then there's of course the elevator in the middle, and if you go up the next floor, now that's interesting, it's gonna be a park like this, okay? It's gonna be a park, and it's just gonna be really, really, really cool. And aside from that, there's gonna be a big lake, okay? And it's perfectly fine to swim in it. You can even fish in it because I would have loaded it with fish. And then, so also you can, one really cool thing is that just on the corner, there's like this restaurant, and you can eat there. It's just that's the cafeteria, but it's just but to just make it more fun to eat, it looks like a restaurant. Floor 3 would have labs, okay? It would have labs and the library, okay? Some meeting rooms and just stuff and storage, okay? It's just that. And on floor 4, of course, there's all the people. All the people's bedrooms. Actually, no. Floor 4 is going to have all the storage and stuff, and then floor 3 is gonna have all the people. That's just my quick. And also, actually, if I could fit in floor 5 there, I would, first of all, I would put like this spot, half of it would just be like a sports place. I could put that in the park, but I just wanted to put like a gym and sports place. So first of all, there would be tennis courts, and then basketball courts, like those professional big ones. And then right next to that, also there would be there will be a swimming pool, okay? And then after that, also a pretty good soccer field. Yeah, you could play that in the park, but just, and actually no, you could play that in the park. So that would be a football field, okay? Football field, and finally in the corner, there will be a place where you could play some golf, and actually, yeah, and then also there's also a baseball place, okay? A place that you can play baseball, so it's pretty big. And I think that would be pretty much it. Yeah, I think that'd be a pretty good living space. I hope that I did pretty good on that. Actually, yeah, I think that's good enough. Now, do you think that the in the end, this all is so cool? Would you like to be, there? Would you like to be on the ship though, even if everything's cool? And now we're going on to the last chapter. Dun dun dun. Chapter 5. So like it says chapter 5. The light in the youth room is even dimmer than the rest of the ship. 3 rows of 6 stasis pods line the room and look sort of like exactly like eggs in a carton. All but 7 of the pods are already all but 7 of the pods are already occupied. Star shapes float in the center of the glowing with liquid. It reminds me of the green water of the mangrove canals near Lita's childhood home in Tulum, the most peaceful place on earth. Now, does that look really comforting? No way! That is definitely not comforting in my idea. My idea of comfort is just warm spring shine, right? This is definitely not comforting, okay? Like seriously, who in the world would like to be in that gel, that green gel floating around, like packed together in that small tube? No way, I am not gonna do that. But of course I don't really have any choice, but if I did have a choice, I would definitely not do that. Yeah, I would definitely not do that. And would you be enthusiastic to do that, or would you be like, no, I'm not doing it? Yeah, definitely, I'm not gonna do it, okay? And so, now, final thing I wanted to talk about before we actually just finish and go on to chapter 6, okay, is do you think that the gel is actually gonna work? And would you be excited or would you be scared? Now, use a simile, okay? Let me do one. I felt as if I was near a fire and I couldn't get. I was an inch away from a fire and I couldn't get away. You know, you'd be terrified. You would be a little, scared. You'd be like, oh no, right? And that would have been how I would have really felt. Okay, so now finally, how do you sort of calm people down? Because Petra really calmed Javier down, right? So how do you calm people down? And if you've never had that chance before, then you don't have to answer this. But I calm people down by, I don't really calm people down. It's not like I need to calm down my mom or dad. They're pretty calm already. And it's not like and I'm an only child. And it's not like my friends are like, stop. And that's never happened to me before. And even that, I don't comfort, of course I tried to comfort them, but like, that's never happened before. So, really, I didn't have that chance. But if I did have that chance, I think that I would have either told them a story, like one of those that I read in the book, just have told them a funny memory. There are a lot of like memories that make people laugh, so maybe that. And now he goes in, right? And then she goes, what did you think was gonna happen? Do you think it was gonna be all right, or do you think there was gonna be a few problems? I thought that it was just gonna be all right. It's gonna be awesome, but I don't think that's gonna be the case here, right? Because the thing is, she's in the pod, but the problem is she is still awake, right? What in the world is happening, right? Well, actually, she isn't still awake, but it says that she isn't going to sleep at least. Now, I was a little exaggerating here, okay? Because I like to be dramatic a little, but it's just that she's still awake. Her eyes don't close like Javier's. What do you think is happening? Do you think it's just okay or not? And of course, but the thing is, she knows that that Ben closes her eyelids, right? She knows that, which means she's still awake. What is happening? Do you think it's gonna work, or do you think it's just normal? Dun 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 dun! There's a lot of dun dun duns in the book, and I'm just gonna ask you a few last questions, and we're gonna leave, okay? A few last questions. What was your favorite part in these chapters so far? Chapters 1 to 5 in the last Cuentista. Well, one of my favorite parts in the book, it was just the beginning. I thought it was so peaceful and the story was fun and we just learned so much. I really liked that part. Now, what was your favorite character and your least favorite character? My favorite character, I like Petra. She's interesting and fun. My least favorite character though, it's not like there's any antagonists though, but like but I really, really, really do not like the people who are wanting to have, that world unity stuff, right? That what was it? Because the global peace forum who want everything to be all the same. Boring. So yeah, I don't like those people. I mean, they are an organization, but still, I think in my opinion, that just counts, and you can do the same thing right now. This an exception. Now, how did you like the book so far? I know it's maybe a little scary, but I still love this book. And while you're going through it, you'll be like, oh, that's why Jaden loved the book so much. And besides, it won the 2021 Newbery Medal. It's supposed to be good. You think that I just chose a random book out of any random shelf? No, I did all my research, and I want the best for all of you guys. So I tried my best. So, and besides, this book is awesome. So I hope that you love it. Okay, Cheryl, how did you feel about this book? Now, predictions. Do you think that who was it? Petra is gonna be okay? Do you think that she's gonna still be awake for the whole thing, or do you think that she's gonna fall asleep? And why do you think that, her elective wasn't there? What do you think? Do you think it was just because? What do you, or not? Dun, dun, dun. We're gonna learn about that. Okay, and then also, how do you think that Sagan is gonna be? How do you think the Earth, do you think it's actually gonna explode or not? Do you think something else is gonna happen? What do you think? And another thing, okay, is, do you think that you would, why do you think that it's called The Last Cuentista, like the last story? I don't know, we're gonna have to find that out, okay? And finally, before we're actually gonna just go, and my final question here is, do you think that Petra here, she didn't get found out yet about her eyesight, but in the end, do you think she's gonna get found out? Oh, I just have another one, please. I'm just gonna do this one. How do you think that the Global Peace Forum is gonna play a part in this, okay? We're gonna find this out all next time, chapters 6 to 10. Well, yeah, most of it all next time, okay? Most of it all. Now, hope that you enjoyed chapters 1 to 5. Bye, and have a great rest of your day or night. The book says bye too. Bye, and Yeah, the fire snake is looking at